Okay, in this video, we're going to take a look at Google Tasks. Now, Google Tasks is one of my favorite apps in all of Google. It's very simple, but man, does it really help me keep myself organized and on task. No pun intended. So let's take a look at Google Tasks, and a lot of people don't even realize it's there. It actually hides in plain sight. So you can access Google Tasks in a variety of apps. It's not a standalone app, but you access it in the side panel. So we take a look over here on the right side. If you follow my cursor, you see all these little buttons over here. This is your side panel. And if you don't see this, if you take a look at the very bottom, you see this bottom right corner. You have this little arrow there. So it can be hidden. So if you don't see it right now, hit that arrow, and it pulls the side panel open. You can see all these different ones. So we're going to take a look right here at Google Tasks, which is this little button here with the circle and the check mark. When I click on it, watch what happens. It pops out. So you can see a variety of tasks that I've scheduled for myself. So I can find it here in Gmail. If I'm to go over here in Google Docs, I can also see my tasks. It can pop out there. You can find that very useful, a very easy way to really improve your workflow. So if you have some tasks that you're working on, and while you're in Docs, you can see them simultaneously. Same thing goes with Google Slides. Close that down there. I can open up tasks there, and it's all the same. Same thing with Google Sheets. If I'm working on a spreadsheet, I can see my tasks, and this can be very useful as far as my workflow. And then you can even find it in Google Calendar. So when I click there, I have all my tasks right there when I'm looking at my calendar. So we're going to go ahead and navigate back to Gmail, and we're going to practice by adding a task. So once you open this up here, at the very top here, it says Add a Task. When I click here, that's gonna it'll pop up right here. And right now it says no date because I have not set a date for it. So I'll call this my sample task. And what I can do, if I was just to click out of it, it's gonna sit there as a sample task. So when I click on it, I can take a look at it. I can add some more details. I can click on the three little dots here to add a subtask. I can add it to a new list. I can delete the whole thing. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and click on the details here. I can add extra details here. It is a sample. So any other details that I want to add to that besides just the title of the task. If we take a look at some of the ones that I have already made here, I actually have pasted some links. So for this one here, for this date, I need to prep a presentation. I've already started my slide deck, so I actually put my link in there. So I can just click on there and start building that presentation. So that's one way you could find very useful the extra details here in your task. So what else I can do here is I can set this a date and time to be reminded. This is probably where you get the most bang for your buck from this, other than just being a simple like checkoff list. When I click here, it opens up a little calendar here. So let's say that on this date here and at this time, let's say 8:30 in the morning, I want to be reminded to go ahead and work on this task. It will remind me at that time here. So then it'll put it in chronological order here by the dates. And then what's going to happen is that if you have the actual Google Task app, which is free on any Android or iPhone, the Task app it'll sync to that, and you'll get a push notification on your mobile device. So that's a very useful there. So now I'm gonna go ahead and click on there again. Something also we're gonna take a look at here is the repeat. So as a teacher, we have a lot of these things that we do on sometimes daily or weekly or monthly. It could be to remember to print out your attendance reports. That is a common practice in many schools. And see, we can do something like that here. So I'm going to go ahead and do one like that. So I'm going to put here print weekly attendance report. So this may be a weekly thing here. So I'm going to put in a little, I'm going to say log into Aries. That's the system we used to use. So that used to be due on Fridays. So I'm going to set this for next Friday, and I'm going to set a time here for 3:30 p.m. That's usually when I would perform this kind of a task. But I'm going to click here and repeat. So I don't want this to go every day. I want this to go every week. And I'm going to set that, I'm going to have this repeat till the end of the school year here. So I'm going to go to June 2nd. So what's going to happen? So this task will repeat every Friday at 3:30 p.m. until June 2nd. So now, if we go back up here, so here it is, print weekly attendance. So let's say that it's Friday at 3:30. My phone alerts me, hey, print your weekly attendance report. Oh, okay. I come in here, I do the work. When I'm done, I click here to cross it off. And there's something oddly satisfying about crossing off. And it says right here, this task is completed and will reappear on its next scheduled day. So what's going to happen a week later, the next Friday, pretty much like at 12 midnight, once the clock strikes midnight, then it's going to appear in your task list again. So once you cross it off once, it will appear on the next scheduled day. So the next time you log in, it'll be sitting there waiting for you. So very useful as a teacher. Another thing that we're going to take a look at is with tasks, a lot of people aren't familiar with, is that it integrates really well with Gmail. A lot of times when you get emails, you have action items that you need to remember to do. Maybe you don't want to do it now, but you want to be reminded to do it later. This is where task really helps you with your workflow when it comes to Gmail here. So we're going to take a look at this email right here. And this email here, there's some things that I'm required to do by certain dates. So what I'm going to do here is I can add any email to tasks. So if once you click on an email, you'll see that this button will appear right here. It says add to task. Watch what happens when I click it. It pops it up right here, and the subject line becomes the task. I can go ahead and change this to however I like. So so maybe what I want to change this to is to accept proposal. Okay, and let's see, I'm going to set a date for, let's say, it's the day that I want to address this. I can set a time, let's say 8 a.m. That's going to put that in my task here. So, but here's where this is really cool here. You see this little button right here that that appears here. This is a link that takes me directly back to this email. So between now and on January 22nd, when I want to actually revisit this email and actually act upon it, between now and then, that email is going to get pushed down in my inbox really far. I'm going to get a lot of emails between now and then, and it may be hard to find. But you know what? I don't need to go fishing through my inbox to find it, because when I get the alert on 8 a.m. on Sunday, January 22nd, all I need to do is come open my laptop, click right here, and it takes me right to this email, and I can get to work. So a very, very useful tool here, Google Tasks. Very simple, but can be very powerful in the way that we use it to improve our workflow.